I had to like do an analysis on this one. This was a good game. This one of my I actually used it pretty successfully. As you can see, I won. Had a lot of good moves toward the end. Had 9 best moves. He had 6. Had 10 good moves. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Order. Rewind. All right. Start with London. Try to get right into the trap. I noticed he had that pawn there. I had to get that out the way. So now the pawn's out the way. In this point right here, he could have took my knight. That's why I did this move here to d3 to protect my knight. But then he had his bishop to attack that knight as well. So if he moved his bishop, then my queen would be under attack. So I took his with the rook. And this move was critical. I kind of already wanted to do that move though, but I couldn't do it because his bishop was previously lying down that diagonal. So after I made that move, his queen had to move it or it's gonna get snatched. And he could have done a move like that. I'm pretty sure that's the move he did in game, which was a blunder. If he did something like that, pawn would have snatched. If he did something like that, that would have snatched, and then he had more complications. If he did a move like, I don't know, this here, my bishop would have been covering it. My knight also would have been covering it. Got him in check. So he ended up playing, yeah, that's also not a good move. Because if he took with the queen, then my bishop was right there covered. Dominoes. So, where was I? Oh yeah, after I took his knight with my rook, he ends up taking, or moving. There. Yeah, so I ended up taking here. No, that's not what happened. That's just what could have happened. Yeah. There we go. After I took it, he ended up taking my rook. I believe so, yeah. In the actual game. So at this point, I was just like happy because this fork, I can have the option to take his rook or his queen. Of course, I took his queen. Instead, now got him in check, and his king is becoming more and more cluttered. So I ended up getting him in check. He could have honestly resigned after this point. Like, I don't understand why he did it. The odds are in my favor, so I continue to play. Check. Just look at the last 3-4 moves he had. He clicked, like, look, moves his knight there, moves his knight back, check. Like, he clearly wasn't doing anything. Take that, check. Take his pawn, check. I'm just collecting his pieces, check. He could have, honestly, look, if you go back, he could have took my queen with his knight, but he probably had like 5 seconds left anyway. Took his rook, check. I think that was the last move of the regulation game. I could have took his rook, collected more pieces, took his pawns. He honestly had no chance. And that's why I think I'm starting to like this trap from the London system, because that was a move that I played just to see what would have happened if he had actually played the game. Right. Well, if it was the actual game, I would have just took his bishop with my pawn. But like I was saying, this derived trap from the London system is pretty cool. It's pretty good and useful. Something that a lot of players should know. But that was a good game. I feel like me pushing my rook up on the a file, taking his knight, forcing his queen to have a awkward position was a solid chess move. Well, probably not the best, but then my knight forking his king, rook, and queen was pretty good, considering that that's what I was going for. It actually kind of worked that time for once.